Hundreds of students across 21 countries are quarantining at home. They'll be out of school for at least 2 weeks after classmates tested positive for the coronavirus.
Yeah, all students at Maple Creek Middle School are temporarily learning from home. ABC 21's Corinne Rose takes us to Northwest Allen County.
After having 0 cases of coronavirus at Northwest Allen's Maple Creek Middle School this fall, 10 of its 916 students tested positive last week with no known connections.
They're in different grade levels. They're from completely different groups of teachers and teams. And so we have every indication to believe that the actual exposure happened in different locations and different activities. We have no reason to believe that the exposure occurred within the same group.
Contact tracing led to another 140 Maple Creek middle schoolers who may have been exposed to the positive students. While no teachers were determined to have been exposed, having more than 10% of students out of the building prompted administrators to order remote learning for all Maple Creek students this week.
This is the only place we've had an outbreak. If you look at our district as a whole, we've had 30 total student cases in 9 weeks, and 10 of them were in one school in 1 week.
He says positive student cases seem to follow a pattern of emerging after a holiday or Indiana's move to stage 5 of its reopening plan. 2/3 of our total student cases either happened last week or 5 to 7 days after Labor Day. And so it just reiterates the importance of taking safety precautions not only when they're in school, but when they're outside of school as well. Himsel says staff began additional deep cleaning in the building last week when they got word of the first cases, and that it continues this week. We concentrate on frequently touched surfaces. We will concentrate on all surfaces in this particular case. Most students will return to class on October 20th after the district's fall break. Those who tested positive may return after 10 days of isolation, plus being fever-free for 24 hours without medication. Students who were exposed to them may return after quarantining for 14 days from the last date of exposure to that person and be fever-free for 24 hours. Corinne Rose, ABC 21.
2 students tested positive. 80 others had to be quarantined at Adams Central schools. They too began all virtual learning today. The students will return to in-school classes after that district's fall break on October 27th. And in a related move, the North Adams Community School System will delay its appointment of the next superintendent of schools. The Board of Education was expected to select that person tomorrow when it was to hold its scheduled meeting, but the district hasn't said yet when that matter will be rescheduled.